Welcome to The Explainer. We're going to talk about one of the biggest logjams in modern life, that incredibly slow billion-dollar journey a new medicine takes just to get to you. But, a revolution is actually underway, and it's powered by artificial intelligence. So in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how AI is about to change everything and what it really means for the future of your health. All right, let's just dive right in. This question on the screen, it's not just for show. It's the fundamental problem that has really held back medicine for decades. I mean, this huge bottleneck, it slows down progress against diseases like cancer, Alzheimer's, you name it. But what if? What if we could just shatter that bottleneck? Well, that's the core promise of this new wave of AI. So, to really get why the solution is so exciting, we first have to wrap our heads around the sheer scale of the problem. You see, the traditional clinical trial system, which is our gold standard for proving a drug is safe and effective, well, it's kind of buckling under its own weight. Let's just start with the money. Over $1 billion. And that's the average price tag to get one new therapy from a lab to your local pharmacy. This incredible expense just stifles innovation, especially for smaller companies or for drugs that are targeting less common diseases. And then you've got the time, a decade, sometimes more. I mean, think about that for a second. A really promising discovery that's made today might not actually reach patients until the 2030s. A huge, huge chunk of that time is just spent trying to navigate this incredibly complex, multi-phase clinical trial process.
And here we go. This is one of the single biggest reasons for those delays. A staggering 80%, that's 80% of all clinical trials get delayed just because they can't find enough eligible people to participate. It's become a massive logistical nightmare. So this brings us to a really key insight. That patient recruitment problem is the first and maybe the most significant hurdle that AI is starting to clear. It's all about working smarter, not just harder, to connect the right people with the right trials. So instead of researchers, manually sifting through mountains of patient charts or just relying on doctors to remember potential candidates, AI algorithms can instantly and intelligently read through millions of electronic health records. They can actually understand complex clinical notes and lab results to pinpoint the perfect candidates that a human could so easily overlook. And this slide just shows the real-world impact perfectly. In one study, researchers took an AI model, it was called Trial Pathfinder, and applied it to a bunch of completed lung cancer trials. The results? It was stunning. By using this data-driven approach to safely broaden the eligibility criteria, they literally doubled the number of eligible patients. That's not a 10% bump, it's double. That is an absolute game changer for speeding up research. Okay, so let's move on to the next innovation and see how this all builds on itself. Because AI isn't just finding patients faster, it's making the trials themselves way more intelligent and efficient once they're actually up and running. Now, what's so interesting here is the contrast. Think of a traditional trial like an old paper map, right? You set your course at the very beginning and you're just locked in. You only find out if you succeeded at the very, very end. An AI adaptive trial, though, is like a GPS. It's using incoming data to reroute in real time, learning and adjusting as it goes. And here's basically how it works. As data from the first group of patients comes in, machine learning models analyze it and start predicting outcomes. And based on those predictions, the trial can automatically update itself, maybe by dropping a treatment that isn't working or focusing more patients on one that looks really promising. It lets researchers fail fast and pour their time and money only into what actually works. All right, so now we're moving from just optimizing real-world trials to something that sounds like it's straight out of science fiction. Simulating them almost entirely inside a computer. Welcome to the world of the digital twin. Okay, so what on earth is a digital twin? Well, imagine a virtual copy of you, a highly complex computer model that simulates your unique body, the specific features of your disease, and exactly how you might respond to different treatments. It's all built from your actual health data, creating this incredible simulator for your own body. The possibilities here are just mind-blowing. Scientists could test a new drug on your digital twin first. They could create what are called synthetic control groups, which would reduce the need for real patients to get a placebo. They could even simulate an entire trial before it starts to predict and fix potential failures ahead of time. But, and you knew there was a but, as with any powerful new technology, this potential doesn't come without some very real challenges.
To get from all this hype to reality, we have to be really clear-eyed about the hurdles we need to overcome first. This table lays out the balance perfectly. The promise of faster, cheaper, more personalized medicine is just huge, but the perils are just as significant. For instance, if the data we use to train these AI models is biased, the AI is just going to amplify those biases. And then you have the black box problem. If the AI's logic is so complex that we can't understand how it made a decision, well, how can doctors and regulators ever really trust it? And this really is the bottom line, pulled right from the source paper. That old saying, garbage in, garbage out, has never been more true or carried higher stakes. These incredible systems are only as good, as fair, and as unbiased as the data that we feed them. Period. So, all this brings us to the most important question of all. What do we actually need to build to make sure this powerful technology is used safely, ethically, and for the benefit of every single person? Well, the path forward really requires a whole new ecosystem built on trust. This means we need transparent data and models so we can see how an AI came to its conclusions. It means we need standardized reporting rules so everybody's speaking the same language. And critically, it means regulators like the FDA have to work with the innovators in collaborative sandboxes to test all these new ideas safely before we roll them out to the world. You know, when we get this right, the impact on patients is going to be direct and profound. It means that the cures and treatments for the diseases that affect our families and our communities can be developed faster. And it also means those treatments will have been tested on a group of people that actually represents the real world, making medicine more equitable for everyone. So, this is the question that leaves us right on the edge of a new medical frontier. What was once just pure theory is now becoming a tangible reality. The work that's being done today is paving the way for a whole new era of truly personalized medicine, where treatments are designed not just for a disease, but specifically for you.